Hey guys, Internet Dude here. I've got a slight issue. It's kind of annoying today. Something I don't get very often, and I've noticed it happen a couple times here recently. But if you take a look, it's minus 12 Celsius, which is about plus 10 Fahrenheit. The car's been outside all day today, and you'll notice there's no regen, essentially. There's one little dashed line that's coming and going, but there's no regen. And what I've discovered is if there's no regen and you plug into a charger, it literally won't charge because it's just sending power to the battery, I guess, to try and warm it up. But I've sat there for like an hour or even longer before in this kind of situation, and it will not charge at all. So I'll go plug it in and show you what I mean. Okay, so I've been plugged in for a few minutes with the heat off. When I turn the heat on, the amps actually ramp up and deliver heat to the cabin, but as you can see, it's like 2 amps that's going into the car. Some of that could be due to having the screen on and sitting in here, but I was plugged in earlier today in the same location, and it sat at about 1 amp pretty much all the time, and maybe it hit 2, but like I left it for over an hour and it didn't even add a single kilometer of charge. I know when it's really cold, the battery won't charge if the battery's cold too. But at minus 12 Celsius, I mean, to me, that's not like insanely cold. It's, it's chilly, but it's not insanely cold. And there's supposed to be a battery heater. I have range mode off, which my understanding is the right setting. So I'm going to give Tesla a call and just kind of inquire about this right now. Okay, well, it's been about 40 minutes. I talked to Tesla roadside assistance, and I also talked to a vehicle support agent, and I just wanted to share some information with you. So you'll look at it now and you'll think, oh, great, like 15 amps is charging well, or, starting to charge, but in fact, it's not. You can see here, plus 0 kilometers still, and I've been plugged in at least 50 minutes now, probably. So basically what they said is the battery's really cold, obviously. They couldn't give me a specific number. They said that it's kind of a range that they have, like almost like an alert, like, oh, it's such and such, like cold, like very cold or something. She said it's probably, the one lady said, like, oh, it might be like minus 1 or 2 Celsius kind of thing. Like, couldn't really say specific, but that's kind of what it translates to. Really the best thing they said is try to park the car indoors if possible, and to precondition the cabin, and don't be afraid to turn it on high. So I turned it on high. The guy said like maybe 25 degrees Celsius would be a good point to set it at, but he said high is not a problem. I discovered high means about 32 degrees Celsius. And so what you're seeing here is the 12 amps being drawn from the climate. So let's turn that off. It should drop way back down. So basically, I also asked him, like, is my battery heater working right? Because I'm like, maybe that's part of it. And this is just an awareness thing for me too. And he said, really, if the battery heater was not working, you'd probably get some kind of alert. So you'd get a warning message, or you'd see the alert up there, but I don't get any kind of alert. So the battery heater should be working fine. And also, he said, don't be afraid to preheat for like a long time. Like in the olden days, well, not very long ago actually, when you set to precondition the cabin from the app, it would run for about 30 minutes and then shut off. And now that limit's removed. And so he's told me like, oh, you could restart it 2-3 times kind of thing. So I take that as crank the heat and just leave it. So I'm going to crank the heat and leave it here, but I'm going to end the video there because, yeah, 0 kilometers, 5 amps. I mean, it's putting in 5 amps now, whereas it was 40 minutes ago, and I've been preheating for a while. So clearly it is working. And so once the interior cabin warms up, it doesn't directly heat the battery. Like there's no connection, but it does make one side of the battery, the upper side of the battery is not against a minus 12 temperature range. It's against plus 25 or whatever. So that will be beneficial. Anyway, I hope that kind of helps you. It's just something I'll keep in mind. I don't often have the car sitting outside all day long, but hope that helps you. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you have any questions, just leave me a comment below or let me know if you've had a similar experience. Like I say, I've seen this a couple times recently, but fortunately I haven't been on any long road trips where this has been a really severe problem. Oh, one more thing I just remembered. I also asked the vehicle support agent, what if I go drive the car to warm up the battery? Is that a good idea? And he said it typically can take like more than a half hour and potentially like over 100 kilometers of driving to actually warm the battery to a sufficient level. So really, unless you're doing a long road trip already and you know there's charging along the way, you really shouldn't just go drive the car just to warm up the battery. You may as well plug it in somewhere, maybe to a supercharger if you're not in Saskatchewan, or you know, a 50 amp or 70 amp or some kind of higher amperage outlet. Anyway, I hope this helped. Thanks for watching.